Britain's Conversation, LBC, with James O'Brien.
12:34 is the time. You're listening to James O'Brien on LBC, where we think we may have unearthed a massive conspiracy up there with Watergate and the Profumo scandal. It seems clear, the more one reads into the story of the so-called Croydon cat killer, that the establishment has intervened to protect the identity of a prominent establishment figure. Because otherwise, you need to explain to me how on earth 25 post-mortem examinations carried out at the height of the Croydon cat killer crisis found evidence, or 6 of the 25, there was evidence that a human with a sharp implement may have been responsible for the mutilation of said felines. But now the Met Police have said that a review by a new team, a new team, found no evidence of human involvement, witnesses, CCTV sightings or forensic leads. Where's that former ambassador who was sending everybody nonsense about the Skripal poisonings, the Novichok down here? Where's he when you need him? I will probably find him quite hard to find, given that I had to block him on Twitter. But I digress slightly. If the original investigation found evidence of human involvement, and the new investigation mysteriously and conveniently claims that it was all foxes all along, I just wonder who they're protecting. And it leaves me with a genuine question as well. My chickens, as you may know, were killed by foxes, or one fox, actually, and killed for fun, because they were left in the chicken run with the heads detached from the bodies. But I also have 2 cats. They're quite feisty cats. I haven't told you much about my cats. They're quite mysterious cats. Not as mysterious as McCavity, but they're nonetheless quite... The coolest thing about my cats is that they've got extra toes. They're polydactyl cats. And they are pretty cool cats. But if we've got enough fox action in our garden to see our chickens killed, and we've got 2 cats, how come there's never been any problems round our way, where there's loads and loads of foxes and loads of cats and no reports at all? I don't know. What am I asking you? Do you believe the official establishment account of how all these cats came to be ex-cats? Julie's in Richmond. Julie, what do you think?
Hello, James. Let's just say you aren't the first person to draw a parallel with the Jack the Ripper conspiracy, but
really?
I could possibly comment.
I don't have to pay royalties, do I, to anybody?
Well, let's just say the original Jack the Ripper conspiracy. Anyway, I've been involved with this since early 2016, when I offered to leaflet after a cat was cleanly decapitated in Kingston and left in front of her family's house.
Oof.
Now, not every suspected victim is confirmed by us, and there are various points that South Norwood Animal Welfare and Liberty have to, a checklist basically, to confirm if they are a victim or not.
Yes.
So I want to just make that point very clear, that,
of course,
foxes predate on dead animals, and an awful lot of cats are run over. So all the victims that are confirmed by SNARL, and have been confirmed actually by the police so far...
Sorry, what's SNARL?
SNARL is, South Norwood Animal Welfare and Liberty, who were the organisation who actually first brought this to the...
That would be SNARL.
SNARL.
No, but you said South Norwood Animal Welfare and Liberty. There's no R.
Rescue and Liberty. SNARL. Rescue and Liberty.
Rescue and Liberty. Yeah, but that's SNARL.
Well, anyway, I don't want to get into that.
Well, I jolly well do, because this is getting even more mysterious. How can it be called SNARL if it's West? There's no R in it.
Well, this is the organisation that actually basically investigating. But I log attacks, and I've been out to bodies when the police haven't turned up. And I've seen bodies posed to give maximum shock with cleanly cut and signature injuries. And where heads and other limbs are removed in exactly the same manner in different geographical areas. So
do you think it's the same person?
I think, well, we haven't ruled out a joint enterprise, but certainly this is being orchestrated by a psychopath who has a very, very clear method of killing.
So how did you greet the news from Scotland Yard yesterday?
It was absolute bedlam yesterday. I mean, what is just so appalling is that they released the news without any consideration for all the victims, our families, who are absolutely distraught.
But hang on, did you lose a cat yourself?
I haven't lost a cat, no.
Right. Because if you had, because I've been teasing you a little bit over the SNARL business, but I'm going to stop teasing you now. Okay.
No, but I have seen enough of the animals. It is incredibly distressing. I know victims personally, and it is shocking. The treatment that they've had from the police is just appalling. Nobody contacted them. So yesterday we've just been hitting the phones all the time, trying to actually reassure the victims' families that there is a cat killer. And
is that I don't know how reassuring that is.
Carry on. Sorry?
You're reassuring them that you're going to keep looking for the cat killer.
We're going to keep looking. We're not stopping. This isn't foxes at all.
How do you know? I mean, two questions occur to me, Julie, as a very hard-hitting news journalist. Number one, I want to know what you think the police are playing at. And number two, how can you be so certain?
Right. Well, first of all, the police do not even have the resources to tackle knife crime against human on human. So the last,
they never come out and claim that it's foxes doing all the stabbings, do they?
Well, they might do.
Yeah, good point, actually. Shouldn't give them ideas. That's Sadiq Khan. He'll try anything.
At the end of the day, the original police team at DS Andy Collin was absolutely fantastic. He totally believed it. He's seen enough victims. But
has he been silenced by the establishment, do you think?
What I can say is DS Andy Collin was taken off the investigation of that a year ago.
Who do you think they're protecting?
I couldn't possibly comment.
Why not?
But, well, I think this investigation, basically, they know they can't solve it because they don't have the resources.
So it's more a white flag than an actual cover-up.
I think it is. It's an exit strategy. Yep.
It's a tough one, this, because I actually love my cats, and I can completely understand. I'd be utterly heartbroken if it happened. But I also can see a sort of slightly light-hearted angle to the story, particularly claims that it's some sort of cover-up. Can you, hand on heart, given what you've just said about police resources, I have to confess that I did do something of a double take when I read that that there was a group of detectives assigned to this investigation.
No, there's never been a group.
Operation Takahi.
There have never been full-time officers on this case.
Okay.
I've submitted freedom of information requests to all the police forces involved in this as well, like Hearts as well. They mounted their own investigation of an arrogant police officer actually in Hearts who called it a different name.
Right.
I think he was very, very quick to actually release a press release saying that it's all foxes, so families don't have to worry anymore. Well, hang on a minute. If there are actually rabid foxes going around with knives...
Well, they won't be rabid. Oh, if there were. Sorry, yes.
Well, sure, vampire foxes who are killing other foxes, then surely people should still be very worried.
This one's going to run and run, isn't it? This is not looking.
We're not going away. And if people look at the South Norwood Animal Rescue and Liberty, website, they'll see a statement and updates about the case.
Rescue and Liberty. It is Snarl.
Yes, South Norwood Animal Rescue and Liberty.
Animal Rescue and Liberty. Snarl. It's Snarl, not Snarl. Yeah, that's brilliant. Just one last thing. I'm a bit like Columbo there. There is CCTV footage showing a fox carrying a cat's head into a school playground.
Yes, but there will be, because foxes predate on dead animals, and it's very convenient. The only CCTV that the police have released is actually of foxes carrying bits of animals. But they do. It doesn't mean to say that they actually go around tooled up with knives and slice heads off.
No, there was one suggestion. I don't know if you saw this. That the cat killer might be a national news reporter because of the speed and facility with which he appeared, or she, of course, to be covering the country, to be crossing the country. Did you see that?
No, I didn't actually. But this is a highly dangerous individual that's breaking into gardens. He's breaking into rabbit hutches. Or she,
yes.
taking rabbits out, decapitating them, putting them back in, so that when the children go to feed their rabbit in the morning, they go into the hutch and there's just a head or a body in it.
Oh, Lordy. Yes, no, I get it. No, you're right. That's no fun at all. I'm just trying to think about national news reporters that I know who may have... I'd keep an eye on John Sweeney over at Newsnight, actually, I think. I'd quite like to know find out what his movements have been in recent months. Jane's in Merton. Jane, this is a bigger story than I first realised.
It is indeed, James. It's been going on really unreported for probably over 10 years, but I think it's become more widely known in the last 4 or 5, which is where the press have got hold of it, and
yes.
Julie and myself and other people have...
Are you also a Snarl operative?
Well, I work in promoting awareness of
yes.
keeping your cat in, helping leaflet, helping cat owners be aware of this vile creature, We don't know if it's a male or a female, if it's working alone or in a group, but we know it is.
You're absolutely certain, both of you, aren't you? So you must find the police's intervention yesterday very hard to understand.
Indeed, because when have you seen a fox carrying a bladed weapon? When have you seen a fox unlocking a rabbit hutch, taking the rabbit away, beheading it, and then taking the rabbit back, placing it in and locking it back? You know, it isn't happening, and the police have used this as a scapegoat. Now, I know it's hard to get police numbers on the street. You know, we're struggling, aren't we, with crimes ourselves, with humans.
Yes.
So
but they could just come out and say that. They could just come out and say, look, we're really sorry.
Well, this is what we want.
We're going to have to focus on human crimes rather than human victims.
Indeed.
Rather than...
Foxes get the blame for everything, don't they? I mean...
Well, they did kill my chickens.
Yeah, they can. If your chickens aren't... if they're not penned up enough...
They were flipping well penned up. They dug a hole. It was like Charles Bronson in The Great Escape, the hole that they dug to get into my chicken run.
Don't ever underestimate the fact the fox can dig under a fence. You have to
I
have
won't
it really
again, will I?
further
It's
down.
a bit late now.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
And they will, if the opportunity arises, they will do it. Now, if a cat has been a victim of an RTA and laid on the ground and it's dead, then a fox perhaps would drag it away, and it probably, as it's chewing away to see if it can eat it, the head will come off, and this is what can be documented. Foxes, you know, can do this, but at the end of the day, a fox will not go to attack a cat because he will come worse off.
Our cats would kill him. Our cats would take him out.
Exactly. Foxes aren't stupid, but please, everybody who's listening to this person or people are still at large. Keep your cat in after dark and at night. And please support Snarl. That's all I can say.
How can we find out more about Snarl?
They have a website, and if you Google Snarl, S-A-S-N-A-R-L, it'll come up. They have a Facebook and a Twitter account.
Cool.
Can I just say on this?
Anything.
It's run by a couple, Tony and Boudica. Now, I know the name is quite humorous. I understand that. We've all had a little bit of a giggle about it.
It's a brilliant name. Is that her given name? Is that what her parents called her, or has she adopted it?
I've known her. I've met the couple.
Well, her surname's Rising. Boudica Rising. That's an amazing name.
She may have chosen the first or the second herself, but this is when she wasn't in the public eye. There were a couple of hippie hunt saboteurs who put their efforts into saving animals.
And they've had it all thrown back in their faces, haven't they? They've had
it just so happened they got thrown into this whole media. They haven't let it go, and they work tirelessly. They hardly sleep. A lot of people are against them, saying that they're not even doing this for the for the animals. They're doing it for their own benefit. That's untrue. They are doing it because they want this person caught. They would rather sit up at night with their cats on their lap, with their feet up, with a cup of tea, like all of us.
Yeah, they don't want to be out there fighting the good fight.
They are. Thanks for listening, James.
No, well, thank you. And I mean, I may have had my tongue in my cheek a little bit during the course of these conversations, but I actually, you can pick up on the seriousness and the passion of people like Jane and my earlier caller. And here is Boudica Rising, quoted in today's Daily Mail. We consider that the evidence we have gathered over the last 3 years does indicate human involvement, and there is expert opinion to back this up. I might task Matthew Thompson with looking into this a little bit further. Send him down to meet with Boudica Rising. I think there's a massive establishment cover-up underway here. If not that, then the deep state have got involved, clearly. 12:47.